All right. Another thing that we cannot bring into 2025 is these lazy ass employers. I know, fucked up to say. But listen, when a lot of these employers are telling you to make a video from your own home, from your own phone, to tell them why you think you deserve this position is crazy. We need to bring back how it used to be. Interviews how it used to be, where you get dressed up and you meet the person in person, face to face, having an actual conversation. It's absolutely nuts to think that you want somebody to make a video on their phone for 5 minutes explaining why they deserve this position. Doesn't that seem stupid? Like, imagine a construction company saying, hey, do you think you can make a video of yourself doing some labor work first before? Because, I want to see why you deserve this position. Absolutely insane. Might be hateful, might get, I don't know.
Hello everyone, this is Emmanuel Cook. We will be reacting to a new video today, so make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe down below, and let's get into the video.
No world is 3 to 5 years of experience entry level. That's not entry level. Entry level is 0 years. You just got out of college. You just got out of school. You fresh off the press. Entry level, so you can learn. You entering into the job market. Somebody entering into the job market is not going to have 3 to 5 years of experience. When that became the benchmark, I don't know. But these companies like to play around. I've also been noticing this habit of office jobs putting hourly wages instead of paying salary. Why are y'all doing that? Why are you saying that this job is $15 to $17, $18 an hour for a social media manager role, for a marketing associate role? Like, what are we talking about here? Y'all are really trying to play and y'all trying to get away with it. Like, I'm over it. I'm over it. And I'm tired of when you go into an interview, the interviewer always has some lame, dumbass questions like, oh, what made you apply to this role? Why do you want to work for this company? Do y'all not need help? Did y'all not post that y'all needed help? Why are you asking me why I'm here? I'm here because y'all said y'all need help. I read the job description and I have all the qualifications that meet this job, so I'm here to interview for the job. Let's talk about the job. I'm not here to talk about why I applied. Do you need help? Do we align on the help that you need? And when can I start?
I need you to understand that you need to be using this time to prepare for the Q1 hiring surge. If you are not using this time, you will either be on the train or get left out. You need to be doing 3 things. Number 1, your resume should be very clear and tight on accomplishments and impacts. I've said that a million times. I've even given you all resume templates at the link in my bio for you to prepare. I am not selling that. I'm trying to get you to understand that you will get left out. Okay, so you need very clear verbiage on what you have accomplished, not just what you did. Number 2, most people who get jobs earning 100K or 200K or better, especially 200 or better, have no issue, no insecurity reaching out to hiring managers or recruiters and saying, hey, you're looking to hire for a role that is high, that it requires A, B, and C. That's so funny, because here are 3 accomplishments that relate directly to A, B, and C. I'd love to set up time with you to talk about the role. It works. It certainly works. Number 3, there comes a point in time where you stumbling on basic interview questions has to end. That is tiring. You've been interviewing for 7 years and you're still stuck on tell me about yourself. How do you resolve conflict? What are your core skills? What have you learned in your role? There comes a point in time, people, that has to end. That's it. You have to stop stumbling on basic elementary questions. Those should be hardwired in your brain. And the only thing you should be stumbling on are very tough hot seat interview questions where it comes out of nowhere and you're like, wait, oh, that's a good question. Let me answer it this way. Anyway, you need to hardwire the answers to basic questions. And a sub point to that is use a framework to position your answers. It could be the STAR format, situation, task, action, result, or it could be CARL. Context, action, results, learning. Doesn't matter, stick to one of the 2 and go win an interview, win the job.
Can we please, in 2025, within the first moment of meeting somebody, stop asking them what they do for a living? The way the world is nowadays, you can have a PhD in economics and be working at Amazon moving boxes right now. The job market is crazy. It's stupid. It makes no sense. And nobody's identity should be tied to what they do.
I have not had this many denial letters about employment in my fucking email in such a long ass time. Every job, I told you I lost my job. That's not news. I've applied to over 1,000 jobs. I even applied to like food service jobs, because y'all know when I was like 16, I used to work at Burger King. Used to work at McDonald's, all that. And the fact that I was even considering doing that, even though I have experience, says a lot. Like, I'm willing to do any motherfucking thing. I'm finna go to Disney next month. Like, I got stuff to do. And I had got like this random text message from one of these jobs that I applied to, and they're like, "Nah, you should check your email." I go check my email and I see unfortunately, we're going to have to move on. Then I'm scrolling deeper and deeper into my email, because at this point, I don't need all this negativity on my phone. I just don't. I don't want to see that. I'll delete it before I have to force myself to see it or see it as a notification. So now I'm going through my emails to see if, I'm missing any like application updates, and literally every single application is telling me that they have moved on with a better candidate, or I'm not qualified, which is crazy, because have you not seen my resume? Like, I'm more than qualified for these regular jobs. Like, are you bitches hiring for real? Are y'all hiring for real? Because there's no fucking way. I'm gonna keep, creating content full time and being a student when next month comes. And, of course, I'm gonna be down at Disney and doing my other internship. But it's like, it's so frustrating. It's so frustrating. I get it. It's back to school season. Everybody's transitioning. Y'all starting these seasonal workers. Y'all worried about Halloween, Christmas. That's great. I need something now. TikTok don't pay every month. They pay on the 15th. I got to get there before the 15th. But I can no longer worry or stress about what's not in my control. I just can't do it. I refuse to drive myself crazy. I need to make sure that I am in a beautiful headspace by the time I get down to Disney, so I can enjoy my Disney do-over and just enjoy myself, because I just feel like at this point, either God is telling me something, or I truly, truly just need a break from being out of New Jersey, and I need new scenery, because this is mad frustrating, mad annoying, and I'm over the shit, to be honest with you.
So I want to talk about the job market, because I truly believe that American media always wants to keep y'all scared and sheepish, because they know that a lot of you will never do any research on your own. And I will not even get into the fact of just how much America gets away with, because most of you won't sit there and Google it yourself. And although Google might tell you XYZ about the job market, it's typically talking about 2 or 3 specific sectors of the market, and everybody else is hiring. You can go do the same job you're doing at your current job at another company. HR is everywhere. Data analysis is everywhere. Project management is everywhere. Curriculums and training is also everywhere. So just because this particular sector of the market's not hiring or is having layoffs, that has nothing to do with the rest of the world. Additionally, the way that these LinkedIn recruiters are harassing my DMs, I know for a fact that these companies are happily still hiring. Now, how do you know that the company's not hiring? Is if you keep on getting automatic rejection emails, especially before a position has closed, because companies want to look like they're still growing and like things are all copacetic.
It's 2025. The job market in 2024 was the hardest that it's ever been, and I hope it gets better during 2025. But one thing we need to stop doing in 2025 is winging interviews. Do not try and wing your interview for your job. Whatever interview you have, even if it's early on a recruiter conversation and you know what the company is, do your research on Glassdoor, check the company on LinkedIn, check what recent posts they made, and develop an actual interest, and do it for yourself as well, because a lot of people don't realize it's a two-way thing when you're interviewing for a company. You want to make sure that, the company is a right fit for you as much as you are a right fit for that company. So it's also in your best interest to do that research. 2025, let's get these jobs, man. Don't be half-hearted with it. Don't be lazy. Do your research. Look at Glassdoor. Look at LinkedIn. Go on the company website. Look at people that work for that company. Stalk their LinkedIns. Do everything that you need to do to get that insight and have that competitive edge, so you could ask good questions in the interview and, have that knowledge that they're looking for.
Are my opinions of the 2025 job market. And you guys, look, I'm Big Sis. I'm going to give y'all the real take that I think, okay? There's many people out there that give advice, but don't ever feel offended by what I say, okay? I'm not speaking to anyone directly. This is all general statements. All right. With that being said, I think the 2025 job market is still going to suck
because companies are still trying to undo their overhiring during the pandemic. But what I do think will happen is a lot of these entry-level roles will almost be obsolete because there are AI tools that are more efficient and cheaper. And a lot of companies weren't efficient because the barrier of entry was very low during the pandemic. A lot of people were getting in to some of these industries with not a lot of experience. I think it's going to be heavily impacted by your background, experience, education. Like, it's always been a thing, but I see experts being more sought out than anything else in the near future.
I'll make this video real quick. I haven't been on lately, but I don't want to hear any of these companies talking about these kids are lazy, they don't want to go work, jobs are out there, go get them. That's a bunch of bullshit. You know how I know? Because my son's been applying to all these big companies. Companies like Kroger, McDonald's, Dunkin' Donuts, Chick-fil-A, Target, all declined his application, including Cinemark. Shame on you guys. Shame on you guys for, putting all these lies out there about these kids not wanting to work. Yes, they do. You guys are not hiring them, and then that's your excuse for not hiring them. Or the excuse, well, we don't do it here, but, it happens at another place. It's a bunch of bullshit. And how you figure you're going to get your new workforce? You're going to work Gen X until we die? Because that's what it sounds like. We're getting old too. You're going to need the new people. You're going to need the younger kids. We're going to need to train those young kids. How you expect these things to work? Shame on you guys. Shame on you guys for not hiring these young kids and giving them a chance to develop those communication and customer service skills. You know what? I'm adding Walgreens too. They also declined his application. Shame on you guys. This is his first job. A lot of these kids, this is their first job. And you're declining applications for whatever reason. You don't have to give him a ton of hours, but the experience that he's going to get is going to be lifetime. So shame on you for not giving him an opportunity. Shame on you for not giving these other kids an opportunity and making up excuses. You are the ones perpetuating the situation. You're the ones that's making it worse. That's all I gotta say.
A quick reminder, please remember to like, comment, and subscribe down below. And let's continue the video.
Oh, let's go to the bathroom. Y'all know I got some shit to talk. So, y'all see my video last week. I got hired at Hudson Grill or whatever, right? And then basically training comes and I call because apparently they're supposed to send me some new hire packet. Long story short, they're like, we've never heard of you. We don't know who hired you. He didn't have jurisdiction to hire you. So I call back today. It's officially a week later. It's Tuesday. Last week was the interview that I got hired. I ended up actually speaking to the guy that hired me. Finally, I've been calling them every day to try to get to the bottom of this because nobody's returned my calls. He's like, yeah, I'm going to send that over. I'm the one who actually hired you. I don't know why they didn't send it over. Okay, cool. Calls me back. My phone's on Do Not Disturb. I call him back, check my email to see maybe if he just couldn't find my email. No, it's a denial. He was like, unfortunately, I didn't know that the position's been filled, so I'm sorry for our lack of communication. So, on to the next motherfucking interview, I guess.
Bro, what's up with the jobs, bro? It's like nobody hiring, not even temp services. I done been to orientation about 2-3 weeks ago. And you got a start date. I thought you go to orientation to get your start date. Like, nobody is hiring. By the time I get a job, a motherfucker gonna be homeless. Like, what the fuck is wrong with these folks? Like, I don't know. Like, no matter what, bro, no matter how many jobs you apply for food, you ain't gonna get no response. About, I don't know. Even when you call them, they telling you they gonna call you back. They don't call you back. Like, it's like, I know it's hella jobs out there. Why the fuck y'all ain't hiring me? Like, damn, bro. Motherfucker trying to get this money. Like, fuck. Then I was jet working from home. You feel me? Like, so this is terrible for me. Like, I got laid off due to overstaffing. The fuck? Like, why is these jobs even overstaffing the facility? Like, why? How is you overstaffed? You knew before you hired them extra people that you hired that y'all was gonna be overstaffed, and now y'all wanna fire me who been here. Like, well, laid me off, and then somebody apply again in 2 months. What the fuck? I couldn't stay for the 2 months? The fuck, fool? This shit don't make no sense. This shit stressing me out. Like, god damn, I need some money. This ain't enough. I'm making money online. I need a job. Like, I need some. Or this TikTok shit need to blow up or something. Like, I just need a blessing, God. I'm trying out here. I'm 24. I'm trying to get a house and shit. You feel me? Career and shit. Like, shit going left. Every time I do good, something go wrong.
And before I hop off my soapbox for today, one more thing. To preface this, I'm unemployed. I lost my job 3 years ago over some BS. It's cool, whatever. Why are people hiring people and paying them anything less than, like, I would say $60,000? Like, stuff in America is so high right now. A 1-bedroom is gonna cost you about $1,700. Say we in Atlanta. You do realize after paying all that, let's say you making like $50,000, you almost half your paycheck after taxes. And on top of that, let's not talk about these other bills like your car insurance. You gotta put in gas, you gotta put food on the table. And don't let you be a man. You gotta provide for some woman or whoever you be with, like, or a kid. Like, why are people posting jobs like with $46,000? Like, what are you supposed to do with that? What are you supposed to do with that money?
If there is one thing that needs to go, it's everyone going on LinkedIn saying how many jobs they've applied to, how many rejections they've gotten, the few little offers that they've had. Why on earth would you post, oh, I've applied to 500 jobs and no one has picked me? We understand that the market right now is not great. I have multiple friends who own businesses, people who are VPs who are like, yeah, our company, everything right now is on hiring freezes. Like, circle back with us when we start hiring again. Fine, fantastic. But why would you make yourself look undesirable to a future employer? You saying you've applied for 500 jobs and no one has picked you, that employer subconsciously is going to think, what is wrong with this candidate that they can apply to this many jobs and no one seems to be interested in them? Make it make sense.
If you don't listen to anything else, baby, listen to this, okay? Trust me when I say this. AI is probably coming for your job in 2025, quicker than you think. In 2025, there's literally no such thing as job security, so I want you to get that out of your head, okay? I will say some industries have more security than others, like healthcare and, things that are just not going away. Yes, there is a sense of security in certain industries. But I know for a fact that AI is coming for everybody, okay? And I was unfortunately affected by it. I was let go from my job. I was laid off back in November, and I was working for a fintech company. And I was really distraught at the time because I need money to live, and I'm also a single mother living in California. Hello, I need the money. But looking back, hindsight is 2020. Because now, looking toward the future, I realized that was a blessing in disguise, okay? The pandemic should have woken me up all the way, but it didn't. But AI is waking me up like a blaring alarm clock, iPhone alarm clock, okay? So what to do about it, right? What are you gonna do? I'm not trying to scare anybody, but I'm here to tell you that it's very important that you start generating income that comes from you, and you are in 100% control of that income. Whether you start a business or whether you start a side job. Notice I said job and not side hustle, because people play around with side hustles and they hustle up a little bit of money and then stop, hustle up a little bit of money and then stop. No, we show up to our jobs consistently. So I want you to create a side job for yourself. Generate income that comes from you. You are in total control. So you don't have the rug swept from underneath you, okay? All right, I had to go get the old school mic, okay, to finish this video real quick, okay? So I know that on TikTok, as you're scrolling, on all social media, everybody's telling you to start a business, start a side hustle, here's 1,000 ideas, yada, 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 okay? That's where I come in. I definitely want to assist you with choosing what that may be, what would be best for you, and what that would look like, okay? So what I want you to do is go to the link in my bio. You will see an ebook there called Too Many Ideas. If you would like, and I would appreciate it, purchase it and take a read through it, go through all the prompts, work through it. It's work. It's a workbook for a reason. But if you are interested and you're a little confused and overwhelmed on what to do, I suggest you start there and also follow me for more free information and more tips.
AI and automation is actually no joke. I work in a UPS warehouse. They fired 500 UPS employees in a nearby warehouse about a week ago or so and automated the whole store. The whole place, they automated everything, fired everybody. AI is literally no joke. No joke. A lot of people are out here losing their jobs because of automation and the AI. It's actually crazy to see, honestly. It's insane.
If you're either currently on the job market or have been thinking about starting your job search up again, January is your month. January is when most businesses are doing all of their financial planning for the year ahead and get their financial forecasts, budgets, etc., which includes current headcount situations, expansion opportunities, and hiring plans in general. Also, January and Q1 in general is when a lot of companies tend to issue their annual bonuses. Employees that have been planning on leaving the company for whatever reason, they typically want to wait around until they receive their annual bonus and then they leave. That being said, a lot of people tend to move around in January and roles open up because of that too. So if you've been thinking about it, definitely start cleaning up your resume, reaching out to people, and keeping an eye on companies that you want to work at. For those of you specifically interested in entertainment, tech, sports, etc., I will continue posting open roles in that industry as I see them, and hopefully it helps.
If you have been looking for a job and you have not been able to really find traction, you may want to consider contract roles. So one of my predictions for 2025 is that we will see an increase in contract roles in the corporate space. And this is because a lot of hiring managers, business leaders, whomever's in charge of getting someone in the door, they're not really finding the skills that they need within their teams. Doesn't mean they have bad teams, but sometimes where they're trying to go, they don't have the right people in place to get there. So they have to hire people in to fill those gaps. So if you've been working on reskilling, upskilling, getting new certifications, whatever the case may be, you may want to consider the route of taking a contract role. Most contract roles are 6 months, some are less. You may find like a 3-month role. There are very many that are at least a year. So that's a good way to get your foot in the door. 9 times out of 10, if you get the role, you will also go into a you will go into a permanent hire role. So it works out. So if you've been having some tough times, consider that route.
Practice the answers to these 5 job interview questions. The first one is the tell me about yourself question. This is most likely going to come up regardless of the industry that you're working in, regardless of your job role. This is a question that you can be asked. They might not necessarily always say, tell me about yourself, but what they might say is, could you run us through your CV? Could you run us through your supporting statement? Could you talk us through your experience? All of those questions are basically, tell me about yourself. And by the way, there is a right and a wrong way to answer that question. The second one is for people applying for jobs in the NHS. Questions around diversity, equity, and inclusion will typically come up. Make sure that you know the difference between those 3 things: diversity, equity, inclusion. Here's a top tip when answering those questions. Usually, the way that you should frame your answer is around the NHS values. So make sure you know what the NHS values are, and if you're applying for a trust, for example, make sure you know the values of the trust. Now, the third one isn't necessarily a question, but it's something that I want everybody to remember. If we're going to do well in job interviews, we've got to speak with examples. We've got to show the interviewer, the recruiter, the hiring manager, what our achievements are. And the way to demonstrate our achievements is by using examples. So make sure you have some examples in your back pocket before you go to that job interview, so that whatever questions they're asking you, you are answering with examples. I've talked about this before, but just a reminder. The other thing you might get asked is, why do you want to work here? Why do you want to leave your current company? And finally, speaking of current companies and previous employers, never, ever, ever badmouth a previous employer or a current employer. Even if what you're saying about them is true, just don't do it. Do not do it. Don't do it. Good luck.
I appreciate you guys watching the video today. Please make sure to like, comment, and subscribe down below, and I'll see you guys in the next video.